to my normal spot. Though this will be the only time you see this spot. In my normal hoodie. Hello, hi, weekend reading vlog. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do them this year. I'm thinking either wheels or number generators, books I own, maybe series in the middle of, like, I don't know. I got many choices, ideas, right? This time we are doing, because we did wheel twice recently, we're gonna do random number generator. I was gonna do my physical or Kindle books I own, right? And maybe like switch back and forth between them. But then I remembered there's a thing called, I have like over 240 Kindle books I own. Whoops, I didn't know that. And I have 66 physical ones I own that I haven't read yet, right? So like, I don't want to figure out which one it is. That's the moral of the story. So instead, this time, because I have a lot of books out from the library right now, we're gonna do Libby. We're gonna do what books I have out from the library right now. There's 8 of them. I'll take a screenshot right after I finish recording this so you can see them. So, you know, well, I'll do it later today because I'm gonna read a graphic novel today. So once I return that one to the library, I'll take a screenshot of all, I believe, if I can count properly, 8. Yes. That is accurate. So I don't know what it's gonna look like on my phone, but I do know on the computer has Assistant to the Villain first top because I just got that one this morning, but I think I'm just gonna put that 8th place, right? Because I think that's how it'll look on my phone. I don't know, the setup's different on my phone. Anyways, you may be like, girl, what is this? This is where I read a book over the weekend, and tell you all about it. Sometimes talk way too much, because that's who I am as a person, right? And, you know, sometimes I pick it out of TBR jar. There we go, can't speak words anymore. Sometimes I do a wheel, sometimes I do a number generator. Here we are. Good times, fun times. I don't know what this intro is anymore. I'm just gonna click the button. I'm gonna click the button. Generate. 7. Okay, so the last one, Tender Piece. Okay, I'm fine with that. I wanted, well, clearly because I have it from the library, but I wanted to read it this month anyways. This is one of the first ones I read for that Simon Teen vlog where I read the first 10% of every book that was free on the Simon Teen website throughout December, right? This is one of the first ones for that, and I liked it enough to put it on like pause, but I will pick it up next time I get a chance type thing. Update on like that whole thing is that I have since then finished 2 of the books from that video that I decided to continue, and I rated both of those 5 stars. So far we're doing great. That means I'm already like 10% into this book and I can tell you about it. Do I remember any characters' names? No, because I'm me. I will never change about this. This will forever be my life. But it follows, in the prologue we see the mother die by kind of murder, but time jump, everyone thinks that it was an accident, just slipped on spice or something, I don't remember. It was an accident. The eldest sister is now in charge of the family, despite the fact that the main character, as far as she knew, according to her mother, she was supposed to be in charge of the family when her mother died, right? And so she is kind of upset about that. Where I left off, she was like on the verge of a breakdown already, like she was about to snap, okay? And so, exciting times. Now, there was a thing, I want to say a year prior, where her brother, like, was on trial for murder, right? And I don't know the exact term of what exactly happened, but basically, I think he was acquitted. Is that right? I think he was acquitted, right? So basically, he's like the black sheep of the family, right? And he's going back to school. They go to this private school, but like private school was supposed to be for lower class children of lower class families, right? That is run by their family. Their mother made this school, right? But they all go to this school. It's this whole thing. She, with everything that's happening now, like her whole entire life is like upside down. All her future plans are screwed up. She's also dealing with the family drama, and also their mother left them each an individual message to get, and she was expecting the message from her mother to her to be like, hey, you're in charge of the family, so everybody knows this now, blah, blah, blah. But instead, what she gets is a sticky note that says, protect her brother. And then, shortly after that, she's at school and finds the dead body of a guy she doesn't really like. I think this guy had, like, a thing for her, but she never really liked him like that. Like, she has a boyfriend, right? And so she finds his dead body. He's been murdered, and her brother is there, covered in the guy's blood. And he says that he tried to do CPR or help him out. And so she's like, did he actually kill him? Was he telling you the truth? And so she has to decide, like, it's this whole thing where she has to figure out what's actually happening, who the real killer is, whether or not to trust her brother, do what her mother told her to do, all this stuff. And yeah, it's very interesting. Blah, 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 blah. And now I will finally read it. Now I will finally finish it. After all this time. It'll be I think it was like the second or third one. So it will have been like 3 months since I started it. Good news is I clearly remember enough about it. So it'll be fine. It will be fine. So I'll start that. We'll start continuing that tomorrow, and I'll update you then. My face looks a little bit more red in some places. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I forgot that I put spot treatment on my acne last night, and I meant to leave it hot overnight, but I didn't realize until I went to make my coffee at 9, and I was like, oh, whoops. And it does make my face a little bit red. Also, I almost stabbed myself with a knife the other day. We don't need to worry about it. And so now my thumb, the skin is peeling a little bit. We don't need to talk about it. I just really wanted to cut that radish for my salad. It's Sunday now. I didn't update you yesterday. I know I did that. That was a decision I made. I'm bad at doing this. That is part of the reason why I'm contemplating not doing anymore after this one. Anyways, Tender Beast. I am, I think, around 28% of the way through. There is, I'm at the point where I'm wondering if what's happening is a supernatural thing. You know, when you read like a mystery thriller and then you have to go, wait a second, is this supernatural? Because there's this woman who has been following her, right? And she at a Halloween store is all like, I needed to know what you knew about the milkman and all this stuff. And she was like, what the hell is happening? And then at this event, she's locked on the roof with her, and she's trying to explain to her what the milkman is, and then gets stabbed right in front of her. Her name's Sunny, by the way, I just remembered this. She is stabbed right in front of Sunny. Sunny obviously freaks out, and then when everybody comes to like see what happened, not only is there no blood or body or killer, the door to the roof was locked. So unless yeah, like it's like and so people think she's just going crazy. Also, I forgot when I was explaining this, there's also a thing that happened in her childhood where her siblings tried to like play a prank kind of on her, playing hide and seek, and she got lost in the woods, and in order to survive the night, she had to sleep next to a dead body. You know, I'm starting to think that's maybe why she's the mother's favorite. I don't know. right? Because there's like a thing where multiple time people bring up that was their mom's favorite, and Dom was like not only ignored by their mother, but they would get better treatment by their mother if they ignored Dom as well, who's the younger brother, who is the one who may have murdered his girlfriend Tori that time. As far as I can tell right now, I believe he didn't kill Tori. I strongly believe, I like how his best friend worded it, where, the Tori's mother, is racist, but not your typical, like, the kind type of racist, where she won't say anything, but if any slightly wrong thing happens, she blames it on the black boyfriend, and doesn't like it when her daughter brings home the black boy, like, right, that kind of vibe. And I was like, okay, Jeremy, I think his name's Jeremy, you got bars here. Yeah, I like Jeremy. I think he can see through the mask that Sunny has to wear like every day. I think he's like the only person other than Dom maybe who sees through it. I think Dom, she just purposely, no, I do think she tries to, I was gonna say maybe she doesn't wear the mask in front of him, but no, I think she does, and he just knows that she's wearing a mask. Jeremy sees through it and calls her on it, and I kind of like him much better than her boyfriend Craig. Hear me out, I don't like Craig. Anyways, there's weird stuff with the milkman. There was also journal entries from her mother from the past that were, I think, supposed to go to Sunny, but I know they didn't go to Sunny. And she found a sticky note in her mom's handwriting saying for Sunny, and it was just like stuck in a drawer, like it came off when somebody took something out or opened the drawer or something, and she like accidentally found it and whatnot. And so who knows what that was on. So maybe the journals in which her mother is talking about the milkman and growing up on the ranch and stuff, and I was just like, intriguing. Maybe there's like some supernatural thing where they accidentally summoned a god in their games to summon a god, and she used the god to get what her family needed to get what in her eyes they deserved. So, you know, that fun stuff. Anyways, maybe it's connected to Milkman. I do have an idea on the whodunit, and I'm not gonna say who in case I'm right, but I would like to state that at one point in this book there is the phrase, "It's always the boyfriend," because you know, in stereotypical, like, that's the thing they say when you go missing, they always ask the husband first type thing, right? That's all I'm gonna say. You can probably clock what I mean with that, but anyways, that's it. That's the update. It's intriguing. I'm liking it. I'm gonna try to finish it today. We'll see. I know I'm supposed to. I think according to my Kindle I have like 6 hours left, so I can do it. People are about to do sprint, so I can just sit down, do it, and not watch TV for 6 hours straight. Listen, I have less of a migraine today. I had one, like, just a dull, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, it was like a level 4, which is fine. It was just all day long, and no matter how many meds I took, or how much food I ate, or how much water I drank, it was just a solid 4 the whole time. And I was like, ugh, this is annoying. Today it's like a 2. And if I'm not paying attention to it, it's not bad, so. But other than coffee's helping with this one, so there's that. Anyways, bye. I'm not gonna say when I'm gonna update you, because I could say I'm gonna update you halfway through and then I don't, or when I have feelings about something and then I don't. So maybe I'll update you any of those times. Maybe I'll update you when I finish. We'll see. Okay, apparently telling you that I'm not gonna officially tell you what I was gonna update you was a smart thing to do, because I finished the book. Listen, around 68%, I contemplated updating, but then I went, what if I wash my hair instead? If you couldn't tell, because it's still slightly damp. But definitely looks completely different. This is like 2 hours post shower look. Anyways, I finished book. Thanks to audiobook. I signed up for Efren trial again for like the 10 billionth time. In order to do the audiobook, because there's like 14-day wait for it on Libby and whatnot. Which is fine. This part is just to tell you that I hate Efren's new setup. I hate it. One, why is there AI telling me that's gonna help me find books that takes up half my screen? I'm already here knowing what I want to read. Get out of my face. Two, the new setup on how they work is just somehow even less well done Audible. Like, how do you make Audible worse? Honestly, I don't. It's amazing how I managed it. Anyways, don't like it. But I used one of those credits to read the second half, second 2/3 more like, of Tender Beasts. Dual read this last, I think it was 36% is when I started doing Dual. Because this is an issue I have with a lot of mystery thrillers, where sometimes in the middle I'm just like bored, right? And so it takes more for me to get through the middle section of them, and that's like a thing I've been doing last month. That's how I read so many books last month, is because if I started to feel that slumping coming on, that slog coming on, I would just pull up the audiobook and dual read it, and that's how I got through so many books. But anyways, yeah, I was feeling that, and then normally if like I don't have the audiobook, I don't mind, like if it's gonna be a 4, if it feels like a 4 or higher, I'm like, okay, sure, I'll read it, because I'll like read it to get that 4 feeling, right? Except at that point I was like feeling a 3.5. At that point I already knew it was either gonna be a 3.5 or a 4 depending on the ending, and I was right. I was correct. I love when I'm right. 3.5, by the way. I was wrong about the killer, which, love that for me. I'm sorry, what? I was down for it, if it had stuck with the whole, everything is happening because of, the fact that back when all the traumatic stuff happened to their parents, there wasn't much in the terms of therapy to deal with it, mixed with the fact that they're the 2 black kids who survived, so like, right, so they didn't get much therapy, and because of that, in their attempts to try to make the best family ever, to fix everything that happened, they ruined their family, and that's why all this stuff happened, and why the killer did what the killer did, and all this stuff. But certain people, including the killer, were very adamant about it actually being a supernatural god being demon possessing their family. And this is what they have to do to save the family. And Sunny was very much team, no, this is generational trauma, and oh my god, they ruined us all. Which I liked. I liked that aspect, and I would have liked it much more if it stuck with that. And then we get an epilogue. We get an epilogue where we learn the demon god thing is real. And like the message is still basically there, because it goes down through the family line, right? And all this stuff. But it just, the message didn't hit because it went, but actually the god is actually real. Like, we're gonna tell you that you don't know if the god's real or not, but then we're gonna actually tell you if the god is real, and have fun. So that wasn't my favorite. And then also near the end, like the epilogue, I think it was also in the epilogue. Honestly, that epilogue, if the epilogue was erased, it would be a 4. It would be a 4. Anyways, in the epilogue, there was this aspect where they've been like trying to research what all this is, to figure out what to do. And I guess it was the last chapter that you learned that God's real. Okay, I'll give it that one thing. I mean, it could have still been kind of up to interpretation, but it'd be like not blatantly saying the God's real like the epilogue is, but it's definitely telling you like, hey, there's a high chance this is what's happening, right? Anyways, there's like a whole point where in the epilogue, they've been doing research for like a year to figure out what to do about everything that's happened, right? And get rid of this evil deity, I guess. I don't know. And then in the process of her doing research, and her talking about the research in her head, like in her POV, it's all like, I don't care how any of this works, and doesn't actually give any answers. Like, it gives answers on who the killer is, but like actually how the deity works, I don't fucking know. Why it went into all the different children and they all did murderous things because of it, to choose like the best one to inhabit, and then they purposely made sure it didn't go into Sunny ever. No, we don't have answers for that. Why it specifically likes the person that it likes and likes to be in that person. Well, she says we don't need any of those answers. It's not important. So you can't tell me it's definitely this god and then give me no like actual answers on what this god is, right? That. Anyways, the idea was a disappointment, 3.5. But I read it. I did not. Is it Blood Magic or something like that? I know the cover of it is by the same author, and I did not realize that. Welcome to how my brain works. I'm great at this. Anyways, not mad I read it. Liked it. The audiobook's really good. I do recommend the audiobook, because I wasn't sure how the audiobook would do the journal entries from the mom's point of view when they were teenagers. There's footnotes in those. And so it was my first time having to read footnotes on a Kindle. That was very interesting. And so I was intrigued on how it would do that in the audiobook. In the audiobook, when there's a footnote, she reads it off, being like reading it off in the moment instead of at the end. There's also the list of footnote and what the footnotes are, right? And so I was expecting at the end of the journal entries reading them all off at once. But instead it was like the footnote was there, I read it off, and I liked that. Anyways, 3.5 stars. The end for this. Oh boy. Yeah, this may be the last of these for a while. I don't know. I get they're easy and fast to edit, but the purpose of them, I'm not feeling weekend reading vlogs anymore, sadly. Anyways, hey, social media things, me linked below, including the podcast, which is usually every other Friday, but last Friday had to be moved to the Friday that after I'm recording this. So that was last Friday, but there's also going to be the Friday that this goes up. Before this goes up. Right, if that makes sense. There's going to be 2 in a row. We're not worrying about it. Girls, not stressed. Anyways, and then here we have on Wednesdays usually gaming videos. That's usually when the gaming videos from me streaming on Twitch. I'm on Twitch twice a week at least. If you want to check those out. And Saturdays, booktube, unless if the last week or first week of a month is weird and then I have to move things around, but generally that's what's happening. Also Mondays here on Instagram, I'm doing weekly wrap-ups instead of monthly or quarterly, just because of how much I've been reading. If I didn't plan one for January, so if I want to do a January one, I would have had to do a quarterly, but to do a quarterly, it would have already been 51 books. And I didn't want to edit that, okay? And since January was weekly reading vlogs, it just makes sense to do after that, do weekly wrap-ups. So I have Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts doing that. And that's everything, I think. Next week's video is one where, for a week, a spinning wheel chooses the amount of pages I read. So that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be interesting. Have fun with that. And I'm gonna go until the next video.